This is going to be primarily a video just showcasing some of the things that I've made. There'll be 3 different videos, each showing a different thing. This is the first part I'm going to show. This is the first project I've ever made using woodworking tools and in the workshop for our class and the workspace that we had. Obviously, as you can see, not exactly ideal. The spacing in between these things is not perfect, and there's a lot of gaps here. Same thing with this, although to be fair, this is a lot better than I would have expected. I will say that you can see that there's a lot of damage. Where is it? Here we go. You can see that there's a lot of damage like here, where they would have to have been glued back together if they broke off. As anybody who does woodworking knows, these type of joining is quite annoying because it can very easily snap due to the pressure of how it takes. Although this thing is meant to be used as it's a push stick, so it's meant to be used on a table saw or something. You put it on this, you use it to hold something, and then you push it across so you don't lose your fingers. So it doesn't really matter for it to look pretty. It holds up well. It's sturdy enough for it to not matter too much. It is made out of soft wood, so dropping it on a hard surface like concrete or metal will more than likely cause dents and cracks and splintering. It's not really meant to stand up to that much. If it were to get caught in the table saw, it just chop right through it. So it's not exactly anything special. But for a first project, I'm actually quite happy about it. The biggest issue was primarily using the bandsaw, I think, to have cut this out. We just cut here and here. But honestly, as always, the biggest issue was this joining. Using the chisels to cut it out wasn't all that difficult, except that it did sometimes crack the wood, as you can see there. Because, well, as I said, it's a soft wood, so it's not exactly designed to hold up to a lot of pressure. So, for example, let's take this spot right here, right? Say you'd be hammering it in or trying to chisel out one of these pieces right here, and what would happen is that if you didn't put in enough relief cuts here or here, it would just start chopping it off, cracking it. I cut it a couple of times, and honestly, wood glue is good enough to be able to make it so it doesn't really matter too much. Obviously, you don't want to see something like this, but realistically, structurally, it's relatively sound. It's not going to just fall apart on you ever. It's joined physically and with glue, so it'll be fine. You'd have to really, really pull hard on this thing for it to snap, and you'd actually more than likely snap the wood because of how soft it is before you were managed to tear off the glue. Although I'm sure you could figure out a way to do so. So that's the push stick. Not perfect, but I think I did a decent job sanding. It's very nice and soft. Obviously, you can't really tell that because, well, you can't really feel it. But all in all, I think it'd be for the first project I've ever done, for the first serious project I've ever been able to do completely by myself, I will say that I think I did a decent job. Obviously not amazing, but for a rookie, it's pretty good. I'm also really proud of this handle. Even though it looks a bit scratchy, it's actually not. So, yeah, push stick. Amazing.